The last time the Dodgers and Red Sox played in the World Series was 102 years ago. Lucky for us, the newspaper of that time and place, the New York Times, keeps meticulous records and has pulled from its archives the words written about the champion teams of the major leagues. Too many colorful passages to share them all, but here's a representative sampling, the lead sentence of the Game 1 recap. The withered stalk of the baseball season burst with a crash into radiant bloom at Braves Field today. The Superbos, pride of Brooklyn and of the National League, and the Carmine-hosed Boston Warriors scrambled for the petals of the first blossom. Today, in 2018, we are also one day after Game 1 of the World Series, and here's the first sentence from our game story. For 7 months, the Boston Red Sox offense has looked unstoppable. In Game 1 of the World Series, neither Reign nor future Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw could stem Boston's red tide. Here to help us deconstruct this World Series and hopefully offer some historical perspective is the OG, Keith Olbermann. Keith, I've been told to ask you about that 1916 World Series and what people need to know about that long-ago series.
Yeah, it's interesting, Kate, that 8 years before that part that you quoted, the New York Times had a story, a baseball story that began with censurable stupidity on the part of player Merkel. The writing was a little different then. So was basically everything about baseball, but it's fascinating to me that this is a franchise founded in 1901, the Red Sox, and another one created in 1884, the Dodgers. In the oldest ballpark in professional baseball and probably in major league sports, and they've never played a World Series game before in that ballpark until last night, which is almost seemingly statistically impossible, yet there it was. And the other historical twist is not only did the then Brooklyn Dodgers and Boston Red Sox play in the 1916 World Series at Braves Field because it had 10,000 seats and the Braves were still in Boston, but the Dodgers were interchangeably to some degree known as the Brooklyn Robins because of their manager, Wilbert Robinsons. And it was a time of baseball history and sports history where one team could have multiple names and be referred to exclusively as one in one newspaper and exclusively as the other in another newspaper.
All right, I knew I would get some good stuff. All right, so